Kim Kardashian and her daughter North West stepped out together in oversized sunglasses for the grand opening of her Nike SKIMS store in Los Angeles on Friday, creating yet another headline-grabbing moment that has social media absolutely ablaze with both praise and fierce criticism. The Keeping Up with the Kardashian star, who is 44 years old, celebrated her SKIMS brand's highly anticipated and commercially significant collaboration with athletic wear giant Nike at the store opening event held at the Grove Shopping Center, and she brought along her eldest daughter whom she shares with ex-husband and controversial rapper Kanye West. A warm welcome to celebrity gossip. Please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss the latest updates and hot gossip on the Kardashians and your favorite celebrities. The 12-year-old is almost as tall as her famous mother now, a fact that has many fans commenting on how quickly she is growing up and transforming from a little girl into a young woman before our very eyes. North sported a black graphic t-shirt paired with casual shorts and eye-catching blue braids that have become part of her increasingly recognizable signature look. She finished her unique ensemble with an expensive Vivienne Westwood necklace and distinctive bug-like sunglasses that added an edgy and somewhat unsettling touch to her overall appearance. Meanwhile, Kim opted for a more traditional athleisure aesthetic in a quarter-zip purple top and matching leggings that perfectly showcased her SKIMS brand's athletic wear offerings to the crowd of fans, media, and potential customers who had gathered for the store opening. Their appearance at this high-profile business event comes after Kim was absolutely slammed and brutally criticized by fans and concerned observers after they noticed what appeared to be a finger piercing on North's hand during recent public outings. The backlash has been swift, intense, and shows no signs of slowing down, with thousands of people questioning Kim's parenting decisions and her controversial approach to allowing North to express herself through fashion choices and permanent body modifications that many believe are completely inappropriate for someone her age. She was harshly labeled a bad mother by numerous critics who claimed she has allowed North to dress inappropriately for her age, particularly after the family's previous trip to Rome where North was photographed wearing a corset and a miniskirt that many people felt was far too mature and sexualized for a 12-year-old child to be wearing in public. These controversial outfit choices sparked heated and passionate debates about age-appropriate clothing and the boundaries that should exist when it comes to allowing young children to experiment with more mature fashion styles that are typically reserved for adults. The photos from their Italian getaway sparked absolute chaos and widespread outrage on social media platforms including Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as many users insisted vehemently that Kim has no control over her daughter's choices and behavior, while others claimed that she has taken the popular concept of gentle parenting far too literally by refusing to set appropriate boundaries or restrictions on what North is allowed to wear, do, and post online. The criticism has been relentless and unforgiving, with thousands of comments pouring in from concerned observers, parents, and social media users who believe that Kim is failing spectacularly in her fundamental responsibility to protect her daughter's childhood innocence and shield her from premature exposure to adult concepts and aesthetics. During their Rome trip, photographers captured clear images of North's finger piercing, and it definitely did not go unnoticed by eagle-eyed fans who immediately began circulating the photos across multiple social media platforms and expressing their shock, disapproval, and genuine concern about what this body modification might signify about Kim's parenting approach. The piercing became yet another controversial flashpoint in the ongoing and increasingly heated debate about Kim's parenting style and whether she is giving North too much freedom, autonomy, and decision-making power at such a vulnerable and impressionable age. In pictures obtained and published by People magazine, while clutching a designer bag worth thousands of dollars and holding two of the latest iPhone models in her other hand, North's new microdermal piercing was unveiled for the entire world to see as she showed off two metallic studs positioned prominently on her middle finger. The piercing is a type of semi-permanent body modification that involves implanting jewelry beneath the surface of the skin, which many people consider far too extreme, painful, and inappropriate for a 12-year-old child to have, regardless of parental consent or supervision. On various social media platforms, fans and critics were extremely quick to share their strongly worded opinions and visceral reactions as one user posted with obvious anger and deep concern, "North is 12. She is a literal child. Why is her mother and all those grown-ups around her allowing her to dress and act like this? Do not get me started on the piercing. Sexualizing herself like this at such a young age is just so wrong." The use of multiple exclamation points emphasized the intensity of this person's feelings about the situation and their belief that North is being failed by the adults who should be protecting her. One particularly critical user commented with frustration, "Geisis. This just is not okay. North is 12 years old. Yes, we are all for expressing yourself through fashion, but this just screams all the wrong things. Shame on Kim Kardashian." This sentiment was echoed and amplified by countless others who believe that there should be clear and non-negotiable boundaries between healthy childhood self-expression and adopting styles, modifications, and presentations that are more appropriate for fully grown adults who can make informed decisions about their bodies and images. I hate to say it, but this is what Kanye was afraid of. This is why he did not want North having TikTok and social media when she was 9 years old. Kim was allowed to be a kid in her childhood, so why is she letting North dress like a woman in her 20s? Bad parenting, another visibly angered user wrote, bringing up the previous very public disputes between Kim and Kanye over how to raise their children and what level of exposure to social media, public life, and adult concepts is appropriate for children who are still developing their sense of identity and self-worth. This reference to Kanye's well-documented concerns touches on a very public and sometimes bitter disagreement that played out between the former couple across social media platforms and in various interviews, where Kanye repeatedly and passionately expressed his discomfort with North's presence on TikTok and her extensive exposure to social media at such a young and vulnerable age. Many people who sided with Kanye on this contentious issue now feel vindicated and justified in their concerns, believing that his fears about North growing up too fast and being exposed to inappropriate influences, commodification, and sexualization have proven to be completely legitimate and prescient concerns that Kim should have taken more seriously. The controversy surrounding North's style choices and body modifications raises profoundly important questions about parenting in the age of social media, celebrity culture, and rapidly evolving standards for childhood development and protection. On one hand, supporters of Kim's permissive approach argue that she is allowing her daughter to develop her own unique identity and express herself authentically without oppressive restrictions, which is something that many modern parenting experts encourage as healthy for developing independence and self-esteem. They point out that North seems confident, articulate, and happy in public appearances, and that restricting her choices could potentially damage her self-esteem, create resentment toward her mother, or cause her to rebel even more dramatically in the future. On the other hand, critics argue with considerable passion that there is a significant and meaningful difference between allowing healthy age-appropriate self-expression and permitting a 12-year-old to make permanent or semi-permanent modifications to her body, wear clothing that seems explicitly designed for adults, and present herself in ways that may attract unwanted attention, inappropriate comments, or potential sexualization from predatory individuals. They worry deeply that Kim's extraordinarily permissive approach may be robbing North of her precious childhood years and forcing her to grow up far too quickly in an environment where she is constantly photographed, judged, and objectified by millions of complete strangers across the globe. The debate also highlights the unique and unprecedented challenges that celebrity children face when growing up in the harsh and unforgiving public eye. Unlike typical 12-year-olds who might experiment with their style, interests, and identities within the relative privacy and safety of their school environments or friend groups, every single outfit choice, public appearance, and social media post that North makes becomes international news that is scrutinized, analyzed, and debated by millions of people across multiple continents. This extraordinary level of attention, pressure, and public commentary is something that very few children have ever had to navigate in human history, and it raises serious questions about whether Kim is adequately protecting her daughter from the potential negative effects of this constant scrutiny, criticism, and objectification. Some observers have also pointed out that the expensive designer accessories and multiple latest model iPhones that North was photographed carrying send potentially problematic messages about materialism, excess, and the value of possessions over character or accomplishments. They argue that allowing a 12-year-old to regularly carry and display items worth thousands of dollars normalizes extreme wealth and privilege in ways that may be unhealthy for her psychological development, her understanding of the world beyond her privileged bubble, and her ability to relate to peers who come from more typical economic backgrounds. The striking contrast between how Kim was raised and how she is choosing to raise North has also become a significant point of discussion and criticism among fans and parenting experts. Kim grew up in a wealthy and well-connected family but did not achieve her own celebrity status, public recognition, and media empire until she was already an adult in her 20s, which meant that her childhood and formative teenage years were relatively private, normal, and shielded from public scrutiny compared to what North is currently experiencing every single day. Critics argue forcefully that Kim should use her own relatively normal childhood experience as a valuable guide and work much harder to preserve some meaningful aspects of normal childhood for her daughter rather than allowing or encouraging her to become such a prominent public figure at such a young and vulnerable age. The financial aspect of this controversy cannot be ignored either, as some critics suggest that Kim may be exploiting North's image and personality for commercial gain, using her daughter's growing fame and distinctive style to generate publicity for SKIMS and other business ventures. The fact that North was brought to a major store opening suggests that she is being positioned as part of the SKIMS brand identity, which raises ethical questions about children being used as marketing tools before they are old enough to fully understand or consent to the long-term implications of such public exposure. As the controversy continues to unfold and evolve with more people weighing in with their diverse opinions every single day, it remains to be seen whether Kim will address the mounting criticism directly through a statement or interview, or whether she will continue with her current parenting approach without acknowledging the concerns that thousands of people have expressed. What has become absolutely clear is that the public remains deeply and perhaps irreconcilably divided on whether Kim is empowering her daughter to develop her authentic self or failing to provide the essential guidance, boundaries, and protection that a 12-year-old child desperately needs during these crucial developmental years. The broader implications of this situation extend far beyond just one family's personal choices, as it reflects larger cultural questions about childhood, celebrity, body autonomy, parental authority, and the long-term effects of growing up with constant public scrutiny. Whatever one's opinion on Kim's parenting approach, this controversy has sparked important conversations about where society should draw lines when it comes to children's freedom of expression versus protection of their innocence and well-being. That concludes today's comprehensive coverage of the controversy surrounding Kim Kardashian's parenting choices and North West's increasingly mature and controversial style at the Nike SKIMS store opening. Make sure to like this video if you found this analysis thought-provoking, subscribe for more exclusive celebrity content and breaking entertainment news, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest updates about the Kardashians and your favorite stars. What do you think about North's finger piercing and her style choices? Is Kim being too permissive, or is she supporting her daughter's authentic self-expression? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we will see you in the next video with more celebrity news and exclusive revelations.